Abby, Adam, since you know each other so well, and you also play a married couple on your show, I thought we could play a game I like to call Story Ding! Here's how this works. I'm gonna ask you both to tell me a story together, going back and forth. If at any point I want to change the story, I'm gonna hit this bell. Just like that. And whoever spoke will have to change the last thing they said to something new. Now, it doesn't have to be true, it just has to be new. Got it?
Got it.
All right, here we go. Let's start with, tell me about the worst day you had on set together. Adam, why don't you start?
The worst day we had on set together, Abby was slightly under the weather. Abby was slightly under a bus. Abby was slightly under the table.
Go ahead, Abby.
And dreaming. I just spaced out, and you know, I had a cold, and so you know, I got a little dizzy, and I was just I got a little woozy. I got a little diarrhea.
Go ahead, Adam.
But that wasn't the worst part. That was endearing. Sometimes when you're with someone who's so perfect, and then you see them have what normal people have all the time, it makes you think, oh, maybe they're just like me. You know what I mean? Maybe they're normal. And that's how I felt about Abby's diarrhea, because it was so explosive, so long, so democratic. So
I
polite.
want to see how many ways you can describe her diarrhea.
So polite.
So polite. Talk to me about your polite diarrhea. Then what happened?
So I kept apologizing, you know, and I felt like I had to make this up to everybody on set. You know, I gotta order food for everybody. I gotta order box sets. I gotta order index cards.
Great. And Adam, how did it end off?
Well, I wish that she would have ordered toilet paper instead of index cards.
They serve the same purpose.
Because she was complaining for the rest of the afternoon about cuts and roughness. And while I appreciated the ingenuity to say, well, I know the writers have extra index cards and we're very green on set, I'll use these index cards, I think, for both of us and for the rest of the cast, and probably the janitorial department of Sony Studios, it would have been easier to have a roll of toilet paper.
Sounds like a rough day. Sounds like a rough day.
It was really hard.
Quite the story. Let's try one more. Let's try one more. This is a fun one.
Okay.
Can you explain Adam's workout routine to me? And Abby, why don't you start with this one, right? Start us off.
Yeah, Adam's workout routine. So we've known each other for a while, but you've recently started taking up boxing.
Yeah.
You've started taking up Pilates.
Pilates, Adam, then what?
Rabbit chasing is my main new thing. So I'll drive about 20 miles outside of Los Angeles with like 2 or 3 rabbits that I've bought at a pet store. And I will let them go. I will let them free. I will let them return to the place with which they are born. And then I will try to catch them. And usually that can take upwards of 12 hours. Upwards of 20 minutes.
And after the 20 minutes, Abby, what happens? You were so
Then he gets exhausted. I know, this was riveting. Then he gets so exhausted that he has to take, you know, a really long nap. He has to take a Why do I go there?
That's where we are.
I keep going there.
And then what happens when that happens, Adam, when you have to go potty?
I'm so sorry.
Well, every time I have to cry. Not out of pain, it's just a habit. And it would feel weird if I went to the bathroom and didn't cry, and didn't sing, and didn't recite poetry. While I was going, it would feel incomplete.
Of course.
It would
And Abby,
feel
how
like
does he finish off the workout?
So then
I forgot
you know,
that this is
he's-
about a workout.
he recites this poetry, and he does it so beautifully. And, you know, usually there are people, hikers around where he's let the rabbits freed them. And he gets recognized all the time for his poetry, for his beauty, for his skills, for his rabbit freeing.
We love the workout. It sounds fantastic. That's exactly how I imagined it. You were gonna say poop?
Again.
Were you gonna say poop again?
I'm gonna do it.
I feel like
I love your brain. I love your mind. It's perfect.